Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Michelle. You know, I normally talk about my journey as a sign-in agent, but I'm also a mentor. And so this video today is kind of mixed with two different things. I want to share a story with you and then just give you some advice. Pretty much the title, right, is how to respond when there's missing documents from the loan packet. So you get a sign and you do your sign and you're at the table, all the documents are signed, you've double checked your documents, if they're getting money back, you've put that form on top, you staple that check on top, or you put that check in the envelope because you know you have to do scan backs, but you know you've gotten all those documents from the signer, you didn't leave them with anything. You go to your car and you scan all the documents back. You put everything back in the envelope and then you ship the envelope like you're supposed to, right? Then you get a call. Hey, Michelle, my experience, right? Hey, Michelle, you did a signing for us and we're missing the disbursement form and the voided check. All right, so how do you respond to that? First of all, before I go any further, somebody calls you and they tell you, we got all the documents back, but the check and the disbursement on how they're going to get their money back, right? Because they're getting money out of this. How do you respond, right? Do you, what is your first response? Are you like, no, that's impossible. I sent everything back. Like, how are you going to respond? Is that going to be your response to them? Because I want to tell you that your response to that phone call is going to be everything. Your response is going to be everything. Remember, you as a sign agent are an entrepreneur. So it's all about building relationships with everybody that you come in contact in this business with, okay? So when this lady called me from the title company to say, hey, Michelle, we're missing a document. Do you remember if you put this document back or you sent this document back to us? My first response to her was, oh no, are you serious? Like, oh my God. So what didn't get put in? And so I asked her again to kind of tell me what form was missing. And she was like, the disbursement form was missing as well as the voided check. And I was like, are you serious? Like, no, like let me go check my notary bag and make sure that that check didn't fall out of the packet into my bag, right? So that was the first thing I did. I went upstairs with her on the phone. I said, I'm going to take you with me. I'm going to go upstairs, check my notary bag. So I put her on speakerphone. I checked my notary bag. I went through it. I went through even pockets that I don't even use during my signings and make sure that the check was not there. I said, okay, I just checked my notary bag. I don't see anything. Let me go to the car. Do you have a few minutes? She was like, sure, Michelle. So I took her outside while she was on speakerphone. I looked under my car, my car seats. I looked in between the seats. I went to the back seat, looked in the back seat, looked under the seat from the back just to make sure there was no check. There was no disbursement form. I said, let me check my scanner. I pulled my scanner out just to make sure that the check wasn't stuck in my scanner, that it wasn't in my scanner bag. I picked the bag up, looked to see if anything was under the bag. There was nothing, no disbursement form, no check or anything. I was like, man, that is so weird. I always put the money on top, and so I was like, did your file require a scan back? And she was like, I'm not sure, but it would have been nice to have. So I was like, okay. And I'm just thinking like, did I scan back? So we got off the phone. And so I was just sitting there, thinking, well, before we got off the phone, she was like, Michelle, thank you so much. We've been on the phone for 8 minutes and you've done everything. You've looked in your bag, you looked in your car. I appreciate you taking the extra step to double check. And I was like, yes, I am so sorry. I hope you really find it. Please check with your other people and make sure that they didn't just leave it in the bag, because, sometimes a check will stick to that FedEx bag. And so she was like, okay. So, that was it. So Like this video, you guys. Don't forget to like the video. So I was sitting there thinking afterwards, and I was like, let me double check and see if this was one that had a scan bag, because I was pretty sure it was, but I wasn't sure. So I looked and it was. I was like, yes. So I opened up the document. Very first thing was that disbursement form that she said that she didn't get back in her packet. So I was like, okay. So I called the title company back, couldn't even remember what her name was, and was like, hey, I need to speak to the person who just called me about this file. Luckily, she had noted the account and I was able to be transferred to her. I was like, hey, I have the documents. They were scanned back. I did upload them back in the sign-in service. Did you want me to send you a copy? That disbursement form is the very first form that I scanned. And she was like, absolutely. So I went ahead and I forwarded her the email. Thank God that I had the email, because that could have put a ding on my record with the sign-in service. And you don't want those, because they'll stop using you after so many dings or whatever. And I was like, yes, I'm so glad I found it. And she, you know, when I called her back, because of the rapport that I built with her on that very first phone call, she was very, you know, appreciative, you know, that I called her back. That I made effort to even get in contact with her, that I was willing to share, you know, the scan bag with her, and she was able to get what she needed. Now, had on that first initial call, I would have been rude, like, no, I sent those documents back. I know what I put in there. I never not send documents back. Like, you know, again, your tone, your willingness to help, you know, is very important, because she could have, you know, if I was nasty, she could have just been like, we're not using her. We're not using her again. And then that would have been like an X, a mark on my file. So again, your tone is definitely going to be everything. Always make sure that you sound like you are willing to help. And if I would have found that check in there, I would have been like, I'm so sorry. I will ship this FedEx overnight to you. I will pay for it. Don't worry about it. I'll send you a scan of it now, and I'll go ahead and get this sent to you. No worries, you know. But again, take accountability. If you find out that that error was in your, you know, in your favor, you know, like if the error was your fault, right? Take accountability for it. We all make mistakes, and they understand. You know, don't be argumentative. Don't get offensive. Don't take it personal. You know, it's just their job. These loans can't fund without certain documents, you know. So, again, I'm glad that I was able to find that email, right? So it makes me want to scan everything in now, you know, just in case. Word of advice is to tape your UPS and your FedEx packages. Like, just put some extra tape on it. At the end of the day, if somebody wants to get in that packet and take documents out, all they have to do is rip open the packet, take the documents out, put it in a new packet with that same, you know, slip return label, and just put it in a new packet, and nobody will ever know, right, at the end of the day. But for you, just go ahead and tape your package up. And I'm like now to the point where, like, I'm gonna, you know, it makes me want to like record what I'm doing and tape everything and take a picture of that. And that's why, again, I don't use drop boxes too, because you never know. But I hand deliver my packages to the agent, get a receipt. So please make sure that you are doing that. What else was I gonna say? Just show compassion, guys. Things happen. Don't get offended. Take accountability, and know that there are people out there that's doing fraudulent things, and it has nothing, you know, to do with you. So if you can have backup and just be as helpful as you can when they call, it would be definitely appreciated, and it will definitely help continue to build your relationships with these title companies and sign-in services. So, all right, guys, like the video, subscribe if you are not subscribed, and I will be back with additional videos for you. All right, guys, you know what I say, what God has for you is for you. Have a great day.